See, here's the thing, like with um, corporations, for example, in Michigan, every if you have a corporation in Michigan, it's a very good idea to file your annual reports, to check the boxes, to go through all the routine stuff, right? That you're supposed to do, like corporate meetings, et cetera, right? Actions by the board of directors. Yeah. Is it a good idea to do that? It's a very good idea to do that. Because why? Because you set up the corporation to protect your home, yourself, from liability. Same with an LLC or limited partnership, whatever. Liability in case something goes wrong in the business. You don't want to put your house at risk. You will invest money into that or into that entity, into that business opportunity. Okay, you'll do that, but you don't want to put your house at risk while you do it. You still, look, if the business blows up and people are not happy, et cetera, et cetera, okay, fine. But, it didn't work out, having a stereo fishing pole or something, whatever it is, right? That didn't work. Well, you don't want to be liable to the extent of your house. You're willing to invest a certain amount, but not more than that. That's why people do corporations. Now, sometimes people commit fraud with corporations. Okay. They use them to enact skullduggery, or I don't know if you enact skullduggery exactly, but anyway, you did it for a bad reason. You did it to cheat people. All right. And you cheated them. They thought they were getting one thing, you sold them something else. Okay. Uh, a pet rock. All right. Well, at least they said it was a pet rock. You weren't surprised when you got a rock with that. Okay. There's no fraud there. But you said you thought that you told them you were selling them a transistor radio and they get a rock instead. Okay. That's fraud. That's bad. And now, because you used the corporate form, right, to commit fraud, now they can pierce the corporate veil, what they call piercing the corporate veil, and go after your house. All right. That's the deal. Now, in every case that has pierced the corporate veil, it's been a few years since I actually read all the cases, but back when I did, they cited the judge, the court. They cited all kinds of reasons for piercing the corporate veil. And some of them were, oh, you didn't keep records. Oh, you didn't do this. Oh, you didn't file the annual report. Oh, you didn't. There were all these things that people didn't do. But there was one thing they always did, always, 100% of the time, whenever they pierced the corporate veil, whenever they found liability, okay, whenever they did that, there was fraud, right? That was relied on by the victims who lost money. Well, big surprise, right? Somebody, you ever heard of no harm, no foul? Well, there's no harm. What are you doing here? What are you complaining about? Okay. So every time they pierce the corporate veil, that's something I just know about. All right. There was always fraud. And the fraud led to damages, and the damages had to be paid back out of the guy's house, whoever the fraudster was, out of their ill-gotten gains. What's different? And you had a jury to figure out, were you committing fraud? Because that's a fact question. What's different now is that there is no jury. You say, well, everybody, it was a reasonable estimate. I thought people liked avocado appliances, and I thought that would naturally add to the value of my home and the shag carpet and everything else. I mean, come on, whatever. Um, no, no, no. Yeah. No jury, no jury. The judge decides that you're guilty. And then the only question is, how much do you owe? And how do they decide you're guilty? They say, well, you said on this credit application that your house is worth 350. I got an appraisal here that says it's worth 250. Liar. You lied. And you're like, I didn't lie. I actually thought it was the shut up. Just shut up. But I thought it was worth 350. Really? Everybody else said it was worth, and everybody else is saying it's worth 350. What the hell are you coming after me for? What did I ever do? Besides run for president or something. Oh, we need to kick you in the butt so that everybody else is protected. I mean, at some point, right? At some point, the 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 BS just piles up so fast. Okay? I mean, what is going on here? You think, well, that doesn't affect me. Yeah, if the government decided that they didn't like you for some reason, and they found that your credit application where you said your house was worth 350 when you were applying for the home equity loan, right? And they did an appraisal and they said no, it's worth 250, and you paid every nickel back and all the rest because you lied to them by saying that your house was worth 350 when you filed the initial application, right? I can't think of anybody, any builder who hasn't done exactly that. I don't know any of my clients who haven't done that. Everybody does that, right? You're optimistic. You think it's a super place, you know, and you say it's worth X amount of dollars, because you think that's what it's worth. Good faith belief, right? Whatever. The appraisal comes in different, and now not only did you get the loan at the lower rate and you paid it all back, now you are going to get fined. Oh, and by the way, you can't live here anymore. You can't own property. You can't do but up and up and up and up and up. In addition to paying back all that money. Crazy. Except you're not paying back any money because you never took any money.